Legacy Unlocked. When you're locked out of your vehicle, can't get in your car, call Legacy. Serving West Palm Beach and surrounding cities. That's area code 229-630-7615. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you been denied disability, Social Security, or custodianship of your children? Call Antonio Williams. He has the knowledge and experience to fight the government on your behalf. Let him represent you. That's Antonio Williams, your non-legal attorney consultant.
Just in time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at www.justintimeaccessories. Just in time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Check it out. Just in time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at
The Anthony Brown Show and the ATL Show now have merchandise available for purchase. You can purchase your merchandise at the link located in the description section below the video. We have male and female shirts, male and female tank tops, jerseys, hoodies, and onesies for your infants. Yes, everything you need in apparel, we have it here. The Anthony Brown Show, along with the ATL Show. The ATL Show shirts proudly say we are the blueprint, and the Anthony Brown shirts grind until you shine. Get yours today.
Someone offends me or someone hurts me or does something to me, it rolls off my shoulders pretty easy. If somebody comes to me and says, hey, will you forgive me for what I did to you? I'm gonna forgive them and say, girl, come on, let's move on. It's all right. I'm wired that way. I'm easygoing. But if I find out, I'm saying don't get it twisted. If I find out that someone's been scheming, that's a whole different story, because scheming implies pre-planning. If you've been scheming against me, that means you've been watching for a little while. You've been trying to figure out what it is about me that is most weak, most frail, most vulnerable, so that you can take advantage of me. You've been studying me to find out what my patterns are and what the predilection of my flesh is and what my preferences are, so that you can figure out the best time to take most full advantage of me and the people that I love. When I find out that you've been scheming against me and the people that I love, well, if it's a war you want, it's a war you gonna have.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. If it's a war you want, it's a war you're going to have. Welcome back to the Anthony Brown Show, this segment that we call the ATL Family and Friends Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How y'all doing? Yes, it is so great to be back in the numbers. just one more time, as the Baptist people would say. Definitely tune in. And I'm thankful that you all are here. If you're new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. It costs you nothing to subscribe. It's free. So hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I don't even know what the count is now in the subscription total. If one of y'all could look that up real quick, let me know where we are in subscribers. But definitely hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 100K subscribers. That's our goal, to reach 100K, 100,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button. And then while you're at it, click that like button, which is the thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that you appreciate what we're doing over here. And they then share our material with other people with similar interests as yours. And of course, if you comment below, we will show your comment loud, live, and in color on the screen, read it, and respond accordingly. You can find us on all social medias. That's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram under The Anthony Brown Show. So again, thank you all for being with us tonight. We appreciate you all so much. But you know what I'm saying? I can't do this by myself. I need my tribe. I need my family. Then the very beautiful, the very bright, the gorgeous Miss Thelma Sweetness.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm doing great and highly favored.
I know that's right.
Honey, very
Where,
highly.
where's Tyson?
He is with his big brother.
Oh,
I
Big
just
Bro in the house.
passed them.
So
They
Big Bro,
out wreaking havoc in the neighborhood.
well, I was gonna say Big Bro, that teaching them right from wrong, but I guess not.
Let me tell you what I learned. Between him and Tyson Uncle Gee, these fools like to dress my baby up and go to the outlet mall over there by you and be pimping girls with my baby.
I was gonna say Tyson probably teaching them bad habits.
Nah, they teaching him bad habits like Uncle Legacy. Grab a butt cheek, Tyson. Grab it.
Oh Lord. Speaking of Uncle Legacy, we got him in the house tonight too. Welcome to the show, Legacy the Great.
ATL in this bitch. What it do, baby? And for sure. Tyson, see if it's soft for Uncle. See if it's soft.
Check the fruit,
Listen,
baby. Check the fruit.
he see right now he got to get the low hanging fruit. Later he'll get the fruit at the top.
Lord have mercy.
And he'll need get beat up, Tony. The girls just smile at him, okay? Just give him that cute little smile.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you better pop him like it happened in the real world.
Popping for what?
Cause he got little heathens telling him to grab on stuff. He better know better.
At this moment, all of that is pure innocence. I'm making sure I know that I'm a boy, and this is definitely a girl.
That's your
Anyway,
story. You sticking to it.
anyway, we got one more guest on our show tonight. So far, the others haven't shown up yet in the backstage. But DP, are you with me? Let's see if DP.
I'm in the house tonight. I ain't going nowhere. I'm right here. Good evening to the ATL show. Hello.
What's going on, DP? Who's that little beautiful young lady sitting next to you?
This is my little sister. You want to announce your name?
My name is Dee Dee.
Her name is. Okay, say it again, girl.
My name is Dee.
Her name is Dee Dee.
Didi. Hi, Didi.
Hi, my nickname is Dee Dee.
Yep. Just say hi.
How old are you, Didi?
How old are you?
8.
Bedtime.
Huh?
What'd you say, Legacy?
Bedtime.
Huh?
He's at bedtime.
Bedtime. Tell them we're in Central Time and your time is 8:19 right now.
8:19.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's 9:19 where he is right now.
9:19.
Yeah. And what time do you normally go to bed?
9:30.
9:30.
I don't
Oh.
know, but Donovan, we need to go ahead and get married because, honey, you ain't never home. So I know my traveling gonna be something awesome. Let's go.
That's Tayama. You heard me say Tayama earlier? That's Tayama. Tayama,
You're never home. I want to be like you when I get grown.
Wow.
Living his bestest life.
Oh.
she said, "Isn't she already grown?"
I'm grown.
Oh.
But let me tell you, I'm grown, but my money ain't long like your brother's. Your brother got all the money.
Yes. Welcome to the show, Dee Dee. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm a definitely behave.
Keep them in line, girl. Keep them in line.
Hey, I'm gonna keep y'all in line. Come on.
Keep you in line.
Now she's, huh?
I'm gonna keep you in line. He said to say that.
Listen, I want all the viewers to definitely tune in on Thursday. What we're going to try to do, and I need the viewers to help with this as much as possible, but definitely continue to give us show ideas, suggestions, concerns for shows, for future events, things to talk about. But I'm trying to do every Thursday live shows with special guests, and every Tuesday live shows with just the ATL family and friends. So this Thursday, you definitely want to tune in because we got some ladies that's going to be on the show Thursday. Some it'll be their first time even watching the show. It'll be this Thursday, but this Thursday's topic is going to be why do women marry? Love versus stability. Why do women marry? And we're going to get down. We're going to get dirty. We're going to get gritty. We're going to get into their business. We're going to be nosy
And nasty.
and nasty. But we want to know
Nasty. Is it nasty or nasty and tea?
Nas and T.
Okay. Okay.
We want to know exactly why do women marry? And we got future shows coming up. You know, we got a show already planned for next Thursday and actually the following 4 Thursdays. So definitely tune in. But like I said, so this Thursday's show is why do women marry? And if you're a woman that want to discuss why do you marry, whether you want to get married or whether you have been married and divorced or whether you are currently married and want to come on the show and join the live discussion, we will have the link below that you can click on and join the show. And then I've also already reached out to several women who wants to be on the show. So I'm going to send them the link to be already physically on the show. Because I can have 9 faces on here at one time, according to my agreement with StreamYard. So it should be quite interesting. Why do women marry?
I'm finna marry Donovan just so I could travel. I'm gonna be Miss DP. Sound like a plan for me.
Miss Delicious Pussy.
Amen. Let go.
Or that Miss Double Penetration.
Hey, that's fine with me. I'm traveling. That's all y'all need to know.
Hey,
Catch me when you catch me.
I'm taking love everywhere I go.
Exactly. Well, my name mean love, so you right there in the numbers, Pastor. You got it.
Y'all.
That part.
I'm glad your little 8-year-old sister wasn't sitting there when I said that.
You ain't forgot just that fast, did you?
She's not in here. She knows her role.
Okay.
Let me tell you, he knew to get that baby up out of there with y'all too. He knew better.
Donovan, who was you worried about, me or Tony?
Both.
Well, the difference between the two is
I think Tony said
my
the
mouth has
worst
no
thing
filter, and I'm gonna
down
say
there.
what's on my mind, whether you like it or don't like it. I try to be tactful and respectful to a degree. However, Legacy is exactly the same, but he has a tendency to take it a little more raunchy and nasty and put some filth into it. And Birdman, they put a little respect on my name. They put a little stank on his name.
Legacy, tell him you rebuke all that.
I accept all that.
So
I
that's
accept all of it.
so that's the difference between us.
But Donovan knew when I said it's time to go to bed. Donovan was already ready. You got to go in there. You got to go in there.
TC,
Yeah.
to the left, to the
Put,
left.
now, put the women in the. Well, put the children to bed.
Yes, indeed. Whew. I sent a link to Juicy as well as Jose. Don't know what's going on, and I also called Juicy. I didn't get an answer. So I'm hoping and praying that she's doing well and she's doing okay. As as well as Jose, our Spanish affiliate. So the two of them are doing great.
But are you talking about Jose or are you talking about Ho and Zay?
Ho and Zay.
That's my dog right there. Ho and Zay. I know him.
The Zay that's the Ho.
That'll work too. That probably was who he was back in the days.
Okay. Listen, one of the videos you sent me, I was so surprised that it downloaded, and it took forever because it's a 10-minute long video, and the maximum length of a video to be able to download it in the system is 10 minutes. I don't know why I can't download the other video the other topic I was telling y'all about, because it was 11 minutes and we edited it down to 7 minutes, and for whatever reason it's still not letting me download it, but I'm still try because I already paid for a thumbnail. So but this one was 10 minutes that you sent me. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 videos to show tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna get the 10-minute one out of the way first. And that one is about family law is a business. But check this out.
But it bothers me so many times. I hear my clients who are male say, I can't get my kid. She won't let me get my kid. And the children are absolutely missing out. And it's all about money, right? Whoever has the money to go to court. The reality is family law is a business. And that's the horrible part of it, because it's
what I thought was a situation, an event of domestic violence on the part of my dad my whole life was actually contrived by my mom and her lawyer. That's right. My mom's lawyer advised her to get a bogus restraining order to set up a situation where my dad would be enraged, make claims of abuse, to get a domestic violence charge so that she could get more money and custody.
For the first time ever in their marriage, in their relationship, when they have kids, out comes allegations of child abuse, neglect, drug, alcohol use, domestic violence allegations out of nowhere. Is it prevalent in your experience and kind of out there in California that you see that this happens a lot involving custody issues?
Scott, it's really not uncommon at all.
Here in Harris County, we have a dedicated court specifically for family violence or protective orders. So one of the tricks that a lot of attorneys are using now is to file a protective order along with their petition for divorce. Well, what happens is these protective orders get clogged up in the system. I recently had a case where a protective order was filed in October of last year, but was not heard until August of this year. So my client essentially went 10 months without being able to see his child. What happens is when you file these protective orders, the court will set what's called an ex parte protective order, which will eliminate any access with the child. And these ex parte orders are granted without any hearings and without any notice to the other party. So if somebody, again, is willing to go in and exaggerate a circumstance, the court will grant this ex parte order, which will effectively eliminate any contact with the child.
Yeah.
And it's a very unfortunate situation that's happening here in Houston and Harris County, and I'm sure that it's happening everywhere, but this is one of those tricks that parents are using to eliminate and prevent access.
This county attorney is under fire for making statements during a presentation to private attorneys that seem to lean towards a fraudulent use of the domestic violence injunction. The county attorney, her name is Leslie Levi out of Williamson County, Texas. I'll give you a chance to take a look at that, and then we'll bring Tasha Simmons in to discuss it.
Seems like most of y'all have enough basis to know that a protective order carries criminal consequences. Accordingly, that makes it a pretty heavy tool in negotiating a divorce. So I would encourage you very strongly, if you have one of those cases, to do the protective order as part of your case. It gives you more leverage in negotiating settlement. Well, then you've got something that carries criminal consequences that you can use to get a protective order or use as a bargaining chip in your divorce. Because not only does a protective order carry criminal consequences if you violate it, it also comes up on criminal background checks, and it also means you have to surrender your firearms.
Are there any punishments for filing for false testimony for protection orders?
Not that I know of. I think you can probably file for attorney's fees.
Cupcakes. Fox 26's Randy Wallace reporting tonight from the courthouse downtown.
Just about anyone who's married or has kids could one day end up in family court, according to testimony against 280th District Court Judge Barbara Stalder. If you're accused of domestic violence, you won't get a fair shake. You think that she is biased against people that are accused of committing domestic violence?
Absolutely. She campaigned as being a victim of family violence.
According to testimony in her recusal hearing, 280th District Court Judge Barbara Stalder is, quote, the abused becoming the abuser.
It is very concerning. It should be concerning to every resident of Harris County that we have this situation in the 280th.
Four attorneys testified Judge Stalder has an extreme bias against anyone accused of family violence.
This person may not have committed any family violence. The applicant may be completely lying.
She kicked me out of the hearing and my client out of the hearing on the Zoom, but still took evidence from the government.
Well, my daughter's asking me, Daddy, why can't I come stay at your house? I'm not gonna lie to you. Love you.
Charles Batler is not allowed to be alone with his own little girl. It's been this way for 10 long months.
At this point, I don't really have much faith left in the justice system, so it's just another letdown.
The little girl can't play with her stepsisters or even be with her grandma. Charles even has to pay a court-approved visitation supervisor $200 a day just to spend a few hours of father time every other weekend.
They're draining us, taking all our money. I mean, barely making bills.
This is what happens when a father is accused of molesting his own child. That's what's happened to Charles Batler, and that's why he came to Dolcefino Consulting.
You can't even prove yourself innocent. So where do you go from there? You're guilty until you're just guilty.
But when an out-of-control judge gets involved in these already nasty cases, it goes from sad to another case of family injustice. In a courtroom we've visited before.
Barbara Stalder needs to be removed. Reparations need to be made for the families. A public apology needs to be made. And this needs to never happen again.
This was an incredibly joyous moment for Taha Salahuddin. He hadn't seen his two young sons for nearly 2 years, and not because he didn't want to. His ex-wife was the reason why. She had simply refused to let 7-year-old Omar and 5-year-old Zaid see their dad because she claimed he was sexually abusing them. Multiple investigations have proven that wasn't true. These fake rape allegations are part of a bitter 4-year-long custody battle that brings us our latest case of family injustice.
My dad would go to hug me and I would reject him. And I confronted him every chance I got to scream and yell at him about why he was a bad person, why his culture was so bad, and rejecting everything that made him him. When I was at his house, when he would manage to get visitation, I would go through his papers. I knew what I needed to do when I was around his information, and that was to steal it and give it to my mom so she could get him fired and this and that. And that's what she would do. She would call these companies and make accusations pertaining to his national origin. That's one of the hardest things because there was a lot of abuse in my house growing up with my mom, and those scars are there, but the scars of guilt are just as powerful. And I can't take it back. I can't get time back. And no matter how many times I tell myself or someone else tells me that there was nothing I could do, that I was going to be powerless to this campaign of denigration, and thinking, I need to tell somebody. And the thought that would always stop me is, who's gonna listen? They don't listen to my dad, he's an adult. Who's gonna listen to a 10-year-old? And then what's gonna happen to me? They're not gonna give me to my dad. And I don't even know that I know him anymore. What if some of the stuff my mom says is true? What if I'm wrong? I'm just a kid.
I didn't have the father figure in my life. I didn't know how to be a man.
If he was really present in my life, I would probably, not be chasing boys.
As far as relationships go, I have a lot of trust issues now.
I don't see the point in allowing someone to get close to you if at the end of the day they're just going to hurt you.
I cause a lot of depression, anger.
I just can't call him dad right now because he was never there.
How would the lives of these children have been different if the courts assumed that both parents should be equally involved?
My biggest fear here is that because I sign my rights away, the judge is going to look at this case a little bit differently.
My birth mother alienated me from my birth father for over a decade.
I mean, I'm a father that, quote unquote, voluntarily.
Hello, welcome back. I like your picture, Tiama, your new picture.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show, Ms. Juicy Cake. How are you?
Hey, everybody.
What's going on,
Hey,
Ms. Juicy?
everybody.
Hi, Juicy.
That was a wild video I came in on.
Yes, it was 10 minutes to be exact.
Wow.
Yeah,
Had a lot in it.
I got that from Legacy's archives.
It had to be Legacy.
Okay.
Oh, man.
It's messed up that lady messed up that man's name with them type of allegations. But y'all notice they was all white kids with that melodramatic stuff. Hey. I'm just saying.
I hear echo like you keep repeating yourself, Taylor.
Yeah.
It was my phone.
So for me, like I heard what I heard in the video, and I do feel that children, like it takes two to tango, and they should have both their parents. Um, and this bitterness that these moms have or these fathers have of the other parent once they don't want to be in their life is just absurd to me. I don't understand it. But then I also feel like when it comes to the children, there ain't no chance that you could take. And so, one second, hold on. If the kids were given to the mother and the father had a problem, like the father has a problem, the children need to be taken care of. So I don't think that every child needs both parents, because both parents could not be the best for the child, if that makes sense.
Uh-uh.
But we don't know. And I only saw a portion of the video.
Right. I think you came in maybe a little bit late, and the angle of this video, Juicy, is to show how the courts um, are utilizing this. That it's a corporation and a business, the court system. And I think it was maybe about 2 weeks ago, I was talking about how with child support, that with signing up for child support, and people getting those child support cards and stuff, when you get those cards from the government, let's say the payment is $200 a week, or $200 a month, however you want to look at it. Let's say $200 a week. The mother is only receiving 180 of the 200, because that entity, the child support entity, takes a $20 stipend off of every payment that comes in all the time. So even though it shows up in the system that the father did pay the $200, the mother is only getting 180 because the service that the child support is receiving. So that money that is gained for the child support entity, they're using that money for retirement funds for judges, district attorneys, and things of that nature. So then the system is railroading fathers and mothers into the system. So this was showing you how attorneys are telling mothers, hey, wives or boyfriend, girlfriend, the best way for you to come out on the best end of this is for you to file a frivolous uh, domestic violence claim against the male, so that the courts can put an injunction against him to where he can't see his kid. And most likely, when you have a domestic violence attached to you, whether it's a divorce or trying to get child custody, they will go in favor of the one who doesn't have, who the violence was acute, who they will go in favor of the person who filed the order of family violence. And it's sad that these systems are set up that way. And then the question was asked, if someone made false allegations against the other party, could criminal charges be brought against the person that filed the false allegations?
That's what I was going to ask.
They should,
and the
that's
lawyer
slander.
said, but the lawyer said on here, she hasn't found or heard of any case of anything being brought against the other parent for making false allegations. After DCF went in and found that all of this was frivolous and a lie, the courts doesn't do anything to the person who slandered, brought against false allegations, possibly could have caused this person his or her job. One of the things the lawyer said is the good reason to do it is because not only does it helps the person, that also goes on the record for the individual, and it also goes on the record, so when someone does a job research on you to see if they want to hire you, your criminal background check comes back saying you have domestic violence against you. And most companies throughout the United States with that type of allegation against you is almost as serious as rape.
And that's sad, you know. And there should be some kind of way that even if they leave it on your record, there should be like some type of an amendment next to it or under it that shows that, oh, it was amended that this was false.
But Tony, but first of all, before you put these charges on a person, there needs to be an investigation first. There needs to be proof that is uncircumstantially proven that this person, like the man said, he's charged with. Two men on here were charged with sexual allegations against their children that were lies. Now, just imagine if someone would have took these men to jail, sent them to prison on a lie, and then find out later that the mother lied. One thing you can't undo, you can never undo a sexual allegation charge. Because once that is in the society's, the people's mindset, that's something that you did, regardless if you go and beat it in court, people will still look at you and handle you differently because you have had this allegation against you. Let's say everybody's cool with leaving your nieces and nephews around you now. Regardless if that charge of domestic abuse and sexual charges get attached to you against children, nobody, even if found not guilty, nobody is leaving their children with you because they can, in their mind, they're saying, yeah, he may have got off this time, he ain't guilty, but it was on a technicality or it was on this, but he probably still did it. So, and we talk about this, and me and you've talked about this, Tony. It's similar to when we talked about the statutory rape thing, how young people can lie about their age and be in places where adults are supposed to be, and they are breaking in to these establishments and dating older men. And then when it comes out that that child is younger, and now the man has to pay the full penalty for the charge. The reason that charge does not stop and why this is still ongoing throughout now is because there is no laws on the book that punishes the person for actually causing the man to be with a statutory rape charge.
Now, let me ask you this, and just clarify make it clear, make it make sense. When this person, whether it's the child or the mother, say that this has happened or the father's doing this terrible act, and they arrest him or they put it on his record, they're not putting it on his record as guilty. They're putting it on his record as he's just being charged with it.
Right.
Right.
But that is what. But that is. People don't want to look at it, but it's truthful. When people look at pull your record, run your criminal history for a job, it doesn't matter to them that it says not guilty or not adjudicated or none of that. What matters is you've been arrested, bonded, and all of that on these allegations. So even though I don't know if you're guilty or not, I refrain from even having to entertain the thought of it. I'm not hiring you.
Lucy, you sound very, very robotic. You sound like
chipmunkish. Like chipmunkish.
You sound like chipmunks. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Go out and come back in.
But yeah, and it's just sad, and I try to tell y'all all the time, and y'all are starting to see it. This shit is rigged. This shit is rigged.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Perfect, 100.
Go ahead, Kate.
So I want to say, like, let's throw everybody in the world away, or in the United States, and start over, because
that's not like a plan.
This go deeper than us, and it's not like the way to fix it. It goes back to how we have been by our oppressor. We have been by design taught and raised to not like each other, not love each other, not trust each other, not care about each other. We so much in the hole against each other that we don't know how to help each other. And when I hear these stories of how these women are encouraged to go against the person they trusted with their whole life to have a child with, or the men vice versa, it hurts. It hurts a lot. I am a mother, but I also am a parent. And I firmly and strongly believe that by even definition, the role of a parent is to protect their children. That's like the first thing. Like that's the first step of taking care of your child. Protection, providing shelter, security, the right food, the right environment, all of that. So if you know that the person you are with is not the best, like that man didn't become a sex offender once he had children. So where these allegations come and being derived from are, like you say, are coerced and encouraged by the people in the government who are manipulating us to go against each other, our oppressor.
Right.
And it's wrong, but the more wrong is that father who put himself in position for the mother to need to file child support. Like, don't do that, fellas. No matter how much you hate that chick, send $50, $20, something to that child.
But Cake, again, before you dive into that, I want you to have an opportunity to watch the video in its entirety, because I think you're sloping off the deep end a little bit, because that's not what was said. These women are being bitter because of whatever the situation was. These fathers are fathers that have been in the house with their children, raising them. The relationship came to an end. They're still in their children's lives, and the mothers are saying, "No, I don't want you to get around my kids." And if you, just like the little girl said, her mother lied to her so much that she started to look at her daddy wrong. Because there's only one person that programs a child better than anyone, and that is
But
the mother.
I also heard her say, I grew up in a household of abuse.
But she didn't say who was doing the abusing.
No, she didn't. So we gonna just take it that the abuse was being. She didn't say She didn't say I grew up when my father abused me. She said I grew up in a household of abuse. So then the bottom line is, the mother didn't just put these negative thoughts in this child's head. It was co-signed by what went on. Like, I could say, I'm gonna tell you, I talk mad shit about my ex-husband. Newbie could come right here and I'm a dog his ass. I talk mad shit about him. But at the same time, the way he show up in his children's life, they be like, yeah, okay, Mom.
Right.
So,
see, but another thing is, let's not use the angle of a man who is not in his children's lives. We're going to use those that are in their children's lives and that are dealing with this, because that's what the show was. The video was about, of the fathers who were fighting in court to get the rights to see their kids, not mothers taking the fathers to court just for child. These men are taking them to court, trying to get their rights to see their kids.
And so that part there is like, I go back to, we talked to you about that. You going to court to get rights to see your kids, but were you in court and the rights were denied? If the rights
but the thing is this, especially in certain states, off the muscle, mothers are giving custodialship and ownership of the child at birth only if the couple is married. If the
Right. But this,
father is there, if the father is there, whether they married or not, and he signs the birth certificate, that makes him the father. A lot of courts make you, paternity and all, make you do another step, which is to, I forgot the name of it, but I know Georgia do it, and like 7 other states, but I can't think of off the top of my head that makes you do another step that is further than just birth certificate signing, because typically a father signing a birth certificate is just saying, I'm the one that you can put child support on, and that's what it means, even if you've signed a birth certificate. But the custodial parent is normally deemed to be the mother until a father takes her to court and get 50-50 custody.
I get what you're saying. She's the custodial, but at no point is that father denied to go to the school and see his child. He could get to the
Fathers,
school.
that's not true, Kate. Father, if I'm not on my daughter's paperwork saying
But
that
that,
I can pick up,
but let me rebuke that, because if you're not on the paperwork, get on the paperwork.
you
That's
can't.
where
First
my
of all, the paperwork has to come to you. That school, see, the school, yes, it does.
so in what I experienced in my real life, I sent my son to his father. Do what you got to do. And when he enrolled him in school, I was not on the paperwork. We talked about this that same show that you were speaking of a couple weeks ago. And when I got to North Carolina from Kansas, they thought that I was this parent who don't show up, ain't absent, just I was this typical one. Guess what I also got on? The paperwork.
Let me explain something to you in the state of Florida. Right now, when my daughter and my kids moved over here from West Palm Beach to Cape Coral, Florida, when I was on every paperwork from kindergarten all the way to those in 5th grade, when they 5th and 6th and 7th grade when they moved over here, when their mother did not put me on the paperwork and I went to their school, if you're not on a pickup list or you're not on paperwork saying you are the father, they can even call the child down and the child can say that that's my daddy. That child cannot leave that school with you.
Man. So that's not how they do in Palm Beach County. And I'm
Yes,
sorry you had to experience
yes,
that.
they do. No, you don't. In Palm Beach County, it's the same way.
Well, when I lived in Palm Beach County,
Susan, you've been away for 30 years.
I've lived in a lot of places, but when my daughter and son went to Elbridge Gale in Wellington, Florida.
What year was that, Juicy? Laws change yearly.
I get things change yearly. And you know why things change? Because we don't sit here, we watching, what is that? Real House? What's that show? Housewives? But look, make sure y'all tune in every Tuesday and Thursday to the ATL show.
Now, what I will give you, what I will give you is this, Kate. I agree with you on when you say we're not most black parents are not at superintendent meetings. Most black parents are not at the PTO meetings and seeing what they're utilizing and trying to change for school laws. But I know for a fact in West Palm Beach and right here where I'm at now, you cannot go to nobody's school. If that parent on the other end does not call ahead and say, hey, Uncle Dream's coming over to pick them up from school, it's okay. Or their mother is coming to the school to pick them up, I give her permission. No school is going to let you get that child. And the only way that you can is if you're going up there with documents. I had to go to my daughter's school with documents in hand saying 50-50 custody, showing that I got all rights to her and everything pertaining to her school and everything. Once I took that up there, then I got added to the list. But before that, even when my daughter came out to speak to me, Kate, they said, yeah, that's your daughter. I can look and see that's your daughter. And that she's happy to see you. But by the paperwork that's being filed in the school system, you are not on the pickup list, sir, and I cannot allow you to take your daughter with you.
Now, so audience, fathers, have your shit in order. Because
Yeah, you
as
got.
a parent, you are entitled to your own copy of your the child's birth
Mm-hmm.
certificate. You're
Mm-hmm.
entitled to a social security card. You do
Mm-hmm.
not need the mother to get the documents you need to say that you are the daddy. You can
Sure
even
don't.
go and get your own paternity test and have your documents saying, "I'm that pappy. Let me see my baby."
Okay.
Like, stop letting these people manhandle us.
Let me just get some clarity between Juicy and Legacy. So the only two ways, what I'm hearing, the only two ways the father can be added to the paperwork is one, if the mother go to the school and sign and put you on, and two, if the court documents say you have 50-50, you take those papers to the school.
Mm-hmm.
Or three, you can show that you're the parent. And the reason why I'm adding three is because, again, my children attended Elbridge Gale. I was that parent that didn't think I needed to say, don't let that man see my children. And when he showed up, he was able to see my children. He was able to take them out of school because he had documentation showing he was their daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't nothing to do about it.
But listen,
I
I'm
know, but
not saying.
the document wasn't a court custody. We don't have no custody. The
Well,
document
what
was
document
just
was it?
the document was actually what he had was he had medical, he had the insurance cards because he was in the army. And so he
Mm-hmm.
had the thing showing that he was their father.
See,
Because
but that's the thing right there. You gotta understand, polices, military, firefighters, for some odd reason, people in schools and different judges, lawyers, they get a pass for some reason.
well, you know the
These
part that
people.
they get a part just like the Masons get. They're all signed up to that organization
Yes,
that is
yes,
oppressing us. The
yes.
time that he went to the school, he was no longer in the service, but because he had affiliation, it was due. Now, I argued it. I went ham about it. And they let me know that it wasn't because he was in the service and he got privilege. It was because he had his forms in place.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
But again,
I
Kate,
say
that's why I'm
challenge him.
saying. But that's why I'm saying. But see, that's the thing. That's why I'm saying, and a lot of people don't understand this. When you sign your child up to go to school, from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the evening, you are not the parent. The school system is the parent. So at that moment, I'm not talking about when your kids were 10 and 8 years ago. This is why I want you to understand that every year, Kate, they critique the laws and policies of what can be done in schools. And right now, I know for a fact in Palm Beach and in Lee County, right now, if you do not want, like Tony say, have the proper documents showing that you are the other parent. Two, the first thing you said, Kate, I can't remember exactly what it was, but what you said, Tony, the first document. What was the first thing you said, Tony?
The parent signed them up. The mother signed the father up.
Right, but it's and right.
Kamal says, can we reach out to T Savage to see what the protocol is? We can do that.
Seven has a sick family member, and that's what she's dealing with it right now, Kamal.
And the only thing, like, I don't know what it is today. And so I was encouraged, like even Kamal was saying, find out what is allowed, what is needed, and where you live.
I'm sure it's different in every school district.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I
and
said,
in
where
every
you
state.
live.
And in every
Right.
state.
Because, you know, And when you were speaking of the PTO and stuff, I'm offered to sign up and be on the Chancellor Advisory Board, which is advising what we should do in the nation for school. And these things come up about how many, like, do we want to change the calendar, the days off, how we want to do visitation? Do we want free open lunch, closed lunch? Can they get food? Can they have cell phones? All of these topics come about, and they want parents to be involved and voice what's going to work, because the relationship is supposed to be between the parent and the school. That's how it's supposed to be, the design of education.
Hold on. We've been on for an hour now. I just want to remind everybody, definitely tune in on Thursday at 8 p.m. The topic is going to be, why do women marry? Love versus stability. What we're going to do is try and do every Thursday a live show with live guests. So Thursday show, we're going to have about 5 or 6 young ladies on the show as special guests, and some are either married, was married and divorced, or currently married. But they're going to share with you their stories and their viewpoints on why they feel that women marry. We're going to get down, we're going to get nasty, we're going to get raunchy. But it's going to be quite interesting. So definitely tune in on Thursday. And if you would like to be on the show as well and share the live discussion, the link will be in the description. You can be able to click on it and come on and join us as well.
Why
listen, we can definitely
married?
we can definitely be on this topic forever, but I think we all on the panel get the gist of the system. And as Kate say, fathers, do what you got to do. Have your paperwork in order, protect yourself, and do it. Just stay on top of it, because, like I said earlier, the laws change daily, and ignorance of the law is no excuse. That's what the court system says. Let's
Right.
go
And
to the
these
next one.
kids need you. These children need the guidance.
Now, I'm gonna say this before we jump, Tone. I really gotta say this one, please. And I do understand why most men don't fight in the court system. I do understand why, but it was an innate feeling inside of me that I felt like what Juicy said. I felt like if I didn't attempt to fight when I fought, and let's say I let things go on without me fighting, at least if I would have fought and I would have lost, and later on in life I would have been able to show my child, listen, baby, the reason I ain't been in your life the way I supposed to is because these people put this right here, this right here, this right here, and I lost in court. And I could show the documents to my child when she or he get older and understand, well, damn, my mama did all this. And that's what those girls were crying about in the video, because the revelation came about and hit them in their head that it wasn't my daddy. This was vitriol and hate from my mama that kept me from being in my dad's life. That's why the girls say she can't get back the time that she missed.
Right.
Right.
Let's take a break.
They weren't loyal to you. They were loyal to the opportunity. And a person who does not understand the value of loyalty will never understand the damage of betrayal. This is how we get hurt. We confuse loyalty with attachments. There is a massive difference with somebody who is assigned to you versus someone who's attached to you. Somebody who is assigned to you helps you complete tasks. But those who are attached to you only want to benefit from the task that you have completed. They don't view you as a person. They view you as a purse. People don't abandon what they want. They abandon what they were using. But I'm loyal. I'm a rider. Everybody is willing to ride while you're in the yacht. But who is going to row with you in a crisis? Loyalty does not require lights or eyes because it is a heart posture. It should not require my presence for you to be loyal. Loyalty is when you have my back behind my back.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, sir.
And amen. Listen, the food stamp program may be coming to an end. Check this video out and we'll talk about it.
The SNAP food stamps benefits are coming to an end. It's thanks to the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2023, apparently halting emergency benefits nationwide. NBC 15's Karis Harmon joins us now live in Mobile. Karis, some folks are wondering how they'll even put food on their table.
That's right, Kim, and some shoppers I spoke with today told me they have to break the bank just to get the necessities.
Anyone leaving the grocery store will tell you.
Very high when you can't get a dozen of eggs for less than $5. Very high.
People telling me their grocery bills are far too high.
It's usually around $200 to $300 a week.
I average probably about anywhere from $200 to $275.
Meat and eggs and cheese, all that is high, so about $400 or $500.
People like Christina Peebles are not only getting groceries for themselves, but they also have other mouths to feed.
Everything's went up. I have a 14-year-old and a husband. You definitely don't get a lot for $200 or $300.
Over 390,000 Alabama households could struggle to get food on the table. Emergency allotment for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, better known as SNAP benefits, is coming to an end.
Since March of 2020, we have been issuing emergency allotments, which means that everybody would get their regular allotment during the month. And then at the end of each month, we'd bring them up to the maximum allotment for their household size.
A program that will not continue in March.
Most families will not feel this until the end of the month of March, but we want to go ahead and let individuals know that where they can start saving and being able to prepare for that.
And I have 3 kids now, so food stamp, it helps a lot because I get like a nice amount and then you don't pay any taxes on it.
One woman I spoke with did not want to be on camera. She uses food stamps.
And I'm not coming out of pocket paying $400 to $500 for food. The food stamps helping me.
She will not be affected by the cut to emergency SNAP benefits, but many people could find themselves drowning just for trying to put food on the table.
It's a real big help. So for people that's gonna get cut or not even receiving it, I could just only imagine.
Some people saying this could cause problems.
Just because we're not seeing as much COVID cases and things going on with the COVID doesn't mean that people aren't affected by it.
Others say there's an easy solution.
America need to go to work. The Bible say if a man don't work, he don't eat. So they need to go to work.
The last emergency benefit will be issued tomorrow. I'm live tonight in Mobile. Karis Harmon, NBC 15 News.
So that's not saying that the SNAP program is ending. That's saying the added monies that they were giving people for emergency is ending. And that has already taken place across the nation. So I do understand that cost has gone up. However, funds have been exhausted, they're saying, when they go and do that October budget and deficits. And our, like, people aren't even realizing that we keep going deeper and deeper in debt as a nation, to where the government was supposed to close again this year because we did not have a budget in place. And so while our company is, our CEO is managing things and the budget that he's doing,
you chipmunk is juicy.
Juicy. Juicy, Alvin and the Chipmunk.
But listen, before Kate come back in, this is why we as black folks have to understand black male, black male, and female. Listen, now is the time for
to grow
us
your
to join.
food.
And I'm gonna let Juicy finish when she comes back. Finish, Kate.
But I agree with you. Now is the time for us to join together, These community gardens that we need to have been planting years ago need to be happening now more than ever. All it
But
takes is to take a pack of seeds and spread it wherever you're seeing green grass growing.
Let me go on and throw
Get
in
some
my.
food happen. Go ahead.
I agree with you, Juicy. About I'm going back to the video and what's going on now, and I like the sister that was in there that said America needs to go back to work. We do. These extra SNAP benefits. We're in a state of emergency right now where our people are so lazy. Okay, and what?
Donovan, I don't think working is the answer, because working is just going to generate money for the corporation to keep oppressing us. We need to come together and lift us up as people and not depend on them.
Oh, okay. I haven't finished my conversation, but I get what you were saying. So working doesn't mean corporate funding or funding for corporate America.
Donovan,
Working
read that by Nina. Donovan, read that by Nina because she commented right quick.
community gardens. Yes, we have been from Nina. We've been needing community gardens, but we also need community gardens in our areas, not in other areas where we have to go fight for food. Okay. And let's go back to working. The fundamentals of working. Let's go back to the scriptures. I like to base things on scriptures. If a man don't work, neither shall he eat. Like my cousin and I, we were talking about opening up another business for another source of income. Okay, and see, right there shows that you can create and establish work for yourself where you don't have to go to work for corporate America. All right, but we also can um, benefit off of the word and the action called work, because everyone's got their hustle, everyone's got their flow. Okay, and you've got to make sure that you're going. You can't hold back on what makes sense to everyone. You got to make things make sense to you, so you're not living off of this system that is going to run out. And we already see by the look of things, it's running out. And so I get what you're saying, Juicy. I also just believe to add on to let's make sure we're getting back to work, and also not just getting back to work, but also looking at all of the resources we have available without having to look at our government. A lot of people have counted on our government so much now that we can't even get back to the basics. And unfortunately, it's so sad that I I know we're not coming on here on politics, but I'm saddened to see our people supporting a democratic party that is not for us, never been for us, haven't been for us for years. I mean, we're still behind you all. Even after so many years, they said, let's vote Democrat. We are still behind.
So I want to add to that. The definition, there's many, but work, to perform or carry through a task requiring sustained effort or continuous repeated operations. And that's where I do agree with you that we need to get back into work and not being lazy. We have gotten so comfortable with having these different statues of class, socioeconomic class statuses, that we are missing out on how to be humanitarians and Samaritans. People who have yards, you have room to grow. Tony has a balcony and he has a whole grocery store growing on his patio. The food is here and is growing. I know in Palm Beach alone of 4 or 5 different growing sites that have been open and welcoming. We got open space. Come do something with it. But people have been being conditioned to, let's get seen, let's get likes, let's build up this company, let's do this, and they're not doing what they need to self persevere. and sustain themselves and their family. Depending on the government, which would be even going to work, making money so that you can go spend your money in these government approved stores, buying government approved food that has no nutrients and no value to you, is not the way to go. You are then going to subject yourself to constantly be in that rat race circle. You just a hamster on the wheel. You just running just as they want. Once you set out and get a real tomato and get some beta carotene that tells you, oh, I can do more, I can see better, food is better. That happens when we get together. We got to create villages again.
You know, Juicy, you know, I listen to you and Donovan, and y'all make great sense. But when you start to, first of all, I keep trying to tell y'all don't. Maybe y'all haven't had the time and things like that to go do a little bit more research. The name of the movie that you need to go watch is called Food Inc. Food, FOODINC, where it shows you there's one family that owns the right to every seed in the United States of America. And it is illegal without consent from whatever state you're in, that agriculture, construction or whatever agriculture groups, if you're not labeled up under that agriculture group, you can grow what you want to in your confinement for you and your family. But once you start to take the seed that you bought from that entity and start spreading it and growing farms for others, you can be brought up on charges.
I want to.
This is what.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tony.
I want to add to what you're saying because I remember you mentioned that once before, and I went back and I saw the movie, the video on YouTube. But speaking of this thing called community gardens, I had never heard of such a thing until this year, and it is definitely a real thing. And there's a guy out of California. He had started a community garden a couple of years ago, I think maybe 4 years ago, and now he has 3. And the particular one that he was standing in when they were interviewing him, it benefits 60 families, 60 or 70 families, and the way he have it set up, have it set up as a nonprofit organization. They give back to the community. Each family pays $60 per month. It's like a membership, but they come there throughout the month and gather their fruits and vegetables. And it's all covered under the $60. And under that $60 also, since he collects it for 60, 70 families, it pays his salary, of course. It pays his manager's salary, which also manages the garden or the farm. And what they did was they basically converted the house into the office, and the front and backyard into the gardens. And everything is organic, and you know, it was so funny because a lot of stuff I learned this year, especially working with Juicy, as far as the growing and the planting and some of the stuff and the products that he was using. I was like, oh, I used that. Oh, I heard about that one. Oh, Juicy said that.
But what did you find out about the video?
It just popped up on my feed because I watch a lot of videos on how to grow this and how.
No, I'm talking about the movie that you said you went and watched.
No, the movie Food Inc. You told me about it a while back, so I saw that one. But the movie on the community gardens, it just popped up on my feed, and I watched it.
The reason I'm asking you, what did you think about the movie? Was I lying about anything that I just said?
No.
But the thing of it is so.
But the reason, hold on, Juicy. The reason I brought up the community garden because there has to be some type of way that.
Right, but you see what they did? They converted it because they still had to do something pertaining to the government.
And that's what I was going to say. They want to know what you're doing. And as
They
long as
gotta
they know
know.
what you're doing, you're fine. I know we got a garden in North Uptown. Peabody and 9th Street, Washington, D.C. That garden is a free garden. You got to come over there and take care of your plot. You have to sign up, say, I would like space so I can grow food. One reason is because in D.C., they don't want you growing food in your yard. Especially in the front. You can do it in the back, but watch out in the front. So they're providing people with opportunity to grow their gardens. And they're not paying for it. So there's so many different varieties and options. Right there on Rosemary in West Palm Beach. It ain't even grass. It's a field of cement. They got out there full of vegetables growing. And I don't know, I haven't been home in about a year or so, but 2 years ago, only 25% of that spot was filled with the people using it to grow. And all you got to do is let the man know, hey, I got some pots and I want to grow.
But the thing that you said earlier, Kate, is people, first of all, black folks were hunter gatherers. In the beginning, we were hunter gatherers. We knew how to plant, we knew how to grow. Hell, we came out of the cotton fields. Some families, lineage came out of the cotton field. So planting and growing is something that we know. But people have become so moderate to the point of, who is that? Oh, hey! But people have become so modern to the point that they don't have the time, or they haven't made the time to attend doing things like that from when people were doing it. I grew up with a gentleman that lived next door to me. His name was Mr. Rip. I will never forget Mr. Rip. We stayed across from the train track and we stayed on the side of him. And Mr. Rip had a whole yard, the area out there in front of our yard where people park their cars. Mr. Rip had a whole cane field growing right there, tomatoes, collard greens, mustard greens. When we talking about in the early 80s. And I tell you about how these people are controlling and want to control the growth of fruits and vegetables, it wasn't but maybe 10, 15 years ago that they came through Florida and made people who had oranges and stuff growing in their yards, talking about it was some type of disease or something going around, and they needed to spray this stuff on the fruits and vegetables. And right now, people who once had oranges and pineapples and stuff, or grapefruits growing in their front yard, no longer have it because the stuff they sprayed on those trees from the government made the trees stop yielding fruit. But for everybody that was in line with the government, orange groves, orchards, and things like that, that are still putting money back into the government that can be taxed, the Florida orange groves are still growing. All I'm saying is, everything you say is right. People need to get up off their ass and go to work, whether it's a hustle or whatever it is. But what that shows is how innate our people are, and people who've been getting food. I'm a recipient of food stamps. I've received them before. I'm not ashamed to say that. It helped. But when you get so docile to the point that you can't live, or you can't remove yourself or live without these subsidies, then that means to me you've gotten so comfortable that you don't want to go out and have to make the ends meet to continually to feed your family. This is why you need two incomes coming in the house. And if you're one parent that has to work in the day and work at night, something's going to go lacking. And that's going to be the care of your children and the upraising of your children. So unless you are a mom that can stay home and generate money from the house on the regular and in large quantities, unless you are a dad who can do the same thing at large quantities by yourself, or black men, black women need to learn how to love each other, get along, and come back together and raise our kids and have two incomes coming in the house so that we can have a more fulfilling financial life and take off some of the burden from one another.
And so, go ahead.
I was going to add back about the garden that I have. You know, a lot of people say, well, you know, I can't get a garden because I don't have a backyard or I don't have a green thumb. I don't have a backyard, and I'm the one that Juicy was talking about that has a patio. I live on a second floor in a condo, and I have a patio, a balcony, and in my balcony I have 5-gallon buckets. I got 1-gallon bucket planters, flower pots, wide planters, 3-foot planters, hanging on the rail, sitting on the floor. But I have a full balcony / patio full of, like you said, of groceries. And I mean, anything you can probably think of that grows, I probably have it on that patio. You know, from black eyed peas, string beans, lima beans, okra, collard greens, green peppers, yellow peppers, collards, mustards, well, not mustards, collards, celery, kale, onion, garlic, scallions, aloe, grapes, green grapes. I mean, it's probably more, and I can't think of off top. Oh, I even have corn. And people say corn, yeah, because corn, you know, it's gonna grow tall, but I have corn, and right now they're about a foot tall. But you know, I even have corn. So yeah, the sky's the limit. And tonight we're cooking. Oh, and I have all my herbs is out there. My basil, my cilantro, my oregano, all my seasoning is right there on the garden growing. Janetta's cooking tonight. The collard greens came from the patio. Oh, we got tomatoes also. So yeah, all my fruits and vegetables is right there. Now, had I had a backyard, I'd be showing out. I really
He
be
be
showing out.
growing lemon and lime trees, orange trees, apple
And I
trees,
be that
corn.
grocery shopping.
And you know, and the thing about it is, all it took was effort for him to do and put in the kiki work, you know, continuous activity to bringing forth something to sustain yourself. Work. And you get to eat.
Work is fine, but today's society is convenience. And that's what we see now. That's why we don't have those things, as many of those things as you're talking about, Kate, because
Well,
people
because
are
we're,
people.
but that
Go
you're
ahead.
right. When you say that, that's what I meant by we're conditioned to want these finer things. So now we're going to go out and work to make the money instead of, because see, one of the things, Donovan, when he mentioned about the Bible and church, my interpretation when I was brought up was that the work we needed to do was go out and fetch the wood so we can start the fire, go get the fish or the animal, whatever you about to put on that fire, get your pot, collect the vegetables from the yard to throw in your pot to make your soup. Working the land to sustain earth and yourself. It had nothing to do with building buildings and doing what we're doing today. We're doing this called evolving and making what we consider a better life for ourselves. And the better life is doing everything but better. It's making us oppressed, making us be obese, because now instead of growing our food, we're getting fast food. We need to make money so that we could go buy these processed foods. And those things is not what we need.
Let me ask you a question, Kate. Let's say when you were in the dating field or trying to get to know somebody and a gentleman offered to take you out to dinner, did you ever tell him, hold on, you ain't got to take me out to dinner. You can come to the house, I'll cook dinner, and we can see. I'm talking about throughout from when you came into the enlightenment of where you are now. Or do you still, or did you still allow someone to take you out to dinner if they wanted to take you out to dinner?
So I have offered that to people,
Mm-hmm.
and it hasn't been accepted. I have even been like, my daughter is a chef,
Mm-hmm.
and she can fix whatever. Cause so it ain't even I cook; she can cook. You want to spend money? Pay her to cook.
Mm-hmm.
Because
See,
I don't care.
but at that time, that person don't really know, your daughter's cooking. So maybe that's why it may be good to you because we know that some people, mamas, we say our mamas can cook, but somebody else come to the house and be like, eh, because you're
Right,
used to it.
right. So when you ask the question, yes, I've offered it, but today I have actually gone away with that because I get that same vibe from people. But guess what? I will say to them, sure, I'll go with you. I go for the company. I don't, because there ain't nothing for me to eat. I went to a restaurant, the Outback Steakhouse, and had French fries and something to drink. Because I'm coming to be with you. I'm not coming for this food. My daughter cooked at home. I'm going to go home and eat.
Yeah, see, don't come on no date with me.
No, now take me to a place like that I ain't ever been before or I want to go to. And, I like fun things. We can have fun. But when that answer your question in the conscious state that I'm in, yeah, I'm not for going out and I don't know what that kitchen look like. I don't know if them people wash their hands. Man, you see people scratch their hair and then start back working. I don't like that I have to tell you who is fixing my food, can you change your gloves? Like, bruh, I don't like
And
the
they get
fact that they don't
they get mad when you
and they
ask
get
them.
mad. I offended them because I don't want their germ. So I don't even
But
like that
Kate,
because I'm gonna
your
pop
brother,
off.
your brother at the top, the one right there at the red on, has been so used to pulling up to drive-throughs and just order his food, and he don't care if it just came out of the warmer or whatever. Until lately, maybe about a year now, I've known him to be like, "Give me everything fresh." And he used to look at me crazy when we went places, and it didn't matter where we pulled up at. Everything of mine gotta be fresh because,
Look,
like you say, I don't know how many people have been opening this thing, breathing on this food, touching on it,
breathing.
moving it up. Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. So
And
what do
that's
you
the
do now, Tony?
Sometimes I stay fresh. Depends on my time. Depends on if I have time. But
look.
I've been in management in fast food industry, so I know that quality of food is 10 minutes. If I cook something at 8 o'clock, at 8:10, it needs to go in the trash. You know what I'm saying? And that's policy. You know what I'm saying? So in 10 minutes, whatever I cooked at 8 o'clock is it's still fresh according to
But you don't. But you. That's the thing. You don't know when it came up. I know when I ordered at the window, that is fresh because I know it just came off the grill.
It's funny because Newbie and I were in Whole Foods yesterday, and we were looking in the deli case to see what we could, if there was any vegan food that we could eat. And then she says, some just don't set right with me because they got the vegetables on the bottom and the chicken on the next shelf above it. And when you go to culinary arts school, you're not supposed to put your meat on top. It's supposed to go the other way. And so I'm looking at like this a whole Whole Food store. Fucked up.
But get what, Kate? I know you love. I'm glad you brought up Home Goods. What's the name of the store? Whole Goods.
Whole Foods.
Whole Food. Do you know that Whole Foods
Walmart.
they just got exposed last week for not having real organic foods, and they just got exposed for actually purchasing their fruits and vegetables from China.
The
This was
new
on
Walmart.
what's my Whole Food.
If you
Listen,
go
they
into a
just
Whole Foods, they got 2 registers open and self checkout, and the lines going way down the aisles. You know, I go in, and so people got to look at Whole Foods as Amazon now. It's not what it initially was developed as. So when the
right.
person first opened Whole Foods, it was a organic store. They source their farmers, they source their fishermen, they source their produce growers, and all of it was local. And anything that came in from other places were listed as conventional, but it also told you where it came from: Mexico, Peru, like, you know, like that. But once they went Amazon's route, it
Mm-hmm.
switched. And
Because
Amazon,
once you become global, you have to be
there you
able to
go.
compete. Once you become global, you have to be able to compete to keep all that. When Whole Foods was just like you're saying, small, and it was, not as many as it is now. It wasn't as a, what it is, a corporation then. It was a corporation, but now it's more franchising now.
Right.
So
And so
they have
it
to.
went under the S Corp. It went from C Corp to S Corp.
Right. So now they have to have all this imported fruits and vegetables there all the time. So now we can't get that from all our fruits and stuff now because we're too big. So they didn't know, and the FDA was not testing the fruits and vegetables that were supposed to be organic and things like that that were coming over. They were not testing these foods to make sure that these foods and these fruits and vegetables were organic. They got exposed by somebody who came in for a month, and every day they would come in and pick and say, "Hey, are these fresh? Are these from today?" Yeah, they just came in, and they'll buy them and go and test them, and non-organic GMOs, and they're like, "We are in here paying top price for the same type of fruits and vegetables that we're getting from Walmart." At this moment, the smallest chain that is actually more organic than even that place you were talking about is Aldi's. Aldi's is eventually, because they tried to go to the non-register, scan yourself and go out. Shit, they took that up out of Aldi's.
You want to know, when you mention Aldi's, do you know that Aldi's and Lidl's are brother companies? They're owned by siblings,
Uh-uh.
I didn't know that.
just like the
Mm-mm.
tennis shoes, Puma and Adidas, you know. And we
Yeah,
look at this competitions that these people have, and they
but they're
will
making
see
money
who
all
can
the way.
make
They're
the most
making money hand
money.
and feet. But they're
Right. That's
making
what we're
money
trying to
hand
say.
over fist. That's like we talked about it before, Tony. How Sunkist and Fanta, they competitions in branding, but
But they the
truthfully,
same company.
but they're the same. And the rest of the drink that they make from, like, after the soda start to fizz down and the carbon drops, they put that in no brand bottles like a Shasta or something that you see in the Dollar Tree that ain't a Coke or a Pepsi. You got a big ass 3 liter. You got a big ass 3 liter for 72 cents. It's just the fizz down version of that orange drink that's a top brand.
Right.
Well, when you say Shasta, you know it's a Shasta, California. And they will be very offended that you sat there and said that their soda was known brand, because their
Ain't
brand
nobody,
name.
yeah, they used to be, but ain't nobody else see no Shastas in no goddamn stores no more.
Northern California, that's all you can find is Shasta.
Say what?
I said in Northern California, all you can find is Shasta.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So
But
that
you
means
know,
But
that's a name brand.
Right. So you know
You
when
can be
we
a
look
name
at,
brand and still be trash.
well, soda is trash. It's got
Sit
68
down
grams of
sit
sugar.
down some goddamn well. Sit
Whatever.
your down.
Diabetes, heart disease, obesity, ADHD.
Well, I've been drinking soda all my life and ain't a goddamn thing happened to me.
Too much.
Okay.
Did you see her talking too much on that soda?
Yeah. Listen, let me show this last video real quick because it's a long parental. It's called parental influence. But this video is a 5-minute video and it's kind of lengthy as well. So let me show this video real quick. Donovan just texted me on the inbox on the private message, said that he's gone for the night. So good night, Donovan. You know.
Good night, Donovan. I was about to respond and he was gone.
Yeah. So I'm going to show this video and then we'll talk about it and then we'll go ahead and close out.
Here's the deal. Whatever you think you taught them at home, you can 100% believe that their peers at school have way more power than you do as a parent. Them kids at school have way more influence over your child than you do as a parent. First, let me start by saying that I am one of those parents that are heavily and deeply involved in my kids' lives. Like, I'm nosy as hell. That's how I find shit out all the time, because you're not just going to be living your life around here as a kid and think I'm not going to be all up in your shit. Newsflash, I'm about to be. So if you are a parent and you have a child between the ages of 9 years old and 12 years old, I'm talking about they're in that transition period for where they're going to be coming out of elementary school soon and transitioning into being a middle schooler, you need to listen to everything that I'm about to say in this video. And obviously this applies to people who have older children as well, and even younger children. It depends on your level of exposure for your children, because, you know, I can't fathom for the life of me why people overexpose their kids unnecessarily. But listen, this is what I'm dealing with now by the way of other people's children. I have been that mother that has been I'm not a very strict mother, but I am a mother that is going to talk to my children, give them the real deal, prepare them, take preventative measures. I'm going to be heavily involved. I'm going to make sure that my kids have the tools and the knowledge to think for themselves outside of circumstances. But at the end of the day, they're still children, so they get heavily influenced very easily. The amount of children in this tablet that just having sexual conversations is so sad. And I'm at a space to where I want to just pick up the phone and be like, put your damn mama on the phone. But you know, what's sadder about this entire thing is you don't even know what kind of response a parent is going to give you, because some of them are so fucking trifling that they'll catch an attitude with you because you're trying to call them and tell them something about their child. All I'm going to say, if your child got one of these here, a tablet, a phone, a computer, an iCloud address for somebody to call or text, and you not doing a deep dive in those conversations, you fucking yourself up and them kids up. Because when I tell you my daughter ain't had this here almost a month, she not getting it back. She not getting it back, because the conversations that these kids were having in this tablet with my child, I was blown the fuck away. She just turned 11 years old. She just turned 11. And some of these kids in this chat, 9 and 10 years old. It's about 15 to 20 kids that's been calling her and messaging her. Because other people's kids are overexposed to shit way beyond their age group, overexposed to conversations, sitting up listening to their parents gossip, sitting up listening to their parents talk about shit, sitting up listening to their parents music and all kind of shit. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, okay, well, they shouldn't be having a phone or a tablet anyway at 11 years old. Let me tell you something. These kids are heavily involved in organizations and activities at their school that requires them to have some mode of communication with me. And so they know that. Okay, track practice, dance practice, all this kind of stuff, the shit that go on with these kids. I need to be able to get in contact with my children, and they know that they can talk on this tablet, and they go to their school and give their information out to their goddamn friends. Unbeknownst to me. Oh, I'm not done. Not by a long shot. These social media pages, they not for kids. They not for kids at all. In this tablet, I've been reading shit for 2 weeks. I had to put the tablet down because my nerves were so bad, it was pissing me off. How many kids on here in these group chats talking about, oh, my mama said I can't have social media, but I got a TikTok page anyway. Screenshots their pages, send them in a group chat because they dumb as hell, because kids dumb as hell. Send them in a group chat and be like, oh, follow me. Then you go to their pages, they lying about their ages. These are 9, 10, and 11-year-old kids. Why your page say you 23, little boy? I want y'all to understand something. Even if your child have a TikTok account for fun, it ain't about who they're following or who's following them. It ain't about if somebody can contact them or not. It's about media consumption. How many times do you get on your TikTok account and everything and anything comes across your For You page? Imagine as an adult how easily influenced we are on TikTok, buying from the TikTok shop and getting this and trying that and doing this hack and do. We are easily influenced as adults on this app. Imagine the small amount of effort it takes to influence your child, no matter how good of a parent you are, no matter how well you've raised them. As an adult, you can't even hold back control sometimes and be like, you know what? I don't need to buy that. That ain't for me. As an adult, you fall victim to influence. What makes you think your child is not about to? Consumption is more important than who they're following or or who's following them. And let me get the fuck off this app.
Ooh. You want to go or you want me to go?
Let's talk about it.
Amen.
She sounded like just a tad bit angry.
Look, she have a right to be. And the thing of it is shame on she, mom, who and kudos to her at the same time for waking the fuck up and realizing what her children were doing or her child was doing. Because like my children have tablets and they sign their tablet out while they're going to use it for what it's intended for. And then they need to give it back. It ain't no talking, ain't no microphone, ain't no gaming, no tablet. We can play the game because these internet games, the PlayStation and stuff, all that can be on the internet now. And you play with other people. You're not just playing with the remote control in the computer. And these people are talking. If you're on YouTube and you're watching YouTube, and in case people don't know, there is a children's YouTube. They don't have to watch the regular YouTube. But one video leads to another video and it will take you deep down in the rabbit hole. Like that Ryan kid, he's even got toys in Target. There was a video one time, and his video started out when he was playing with toys in the pool, in the tub. So it was like bath time play. He'd get in the tub, he'd have on his swimming trunks, and he'd play with the toys. Next thing I know, it didn't look too good with the father and whatever they were doing with the toys. It was the way your mind can go. You know, perception is everything. We got to remember, like she said, we all, if I have a mind that thinks, best believe a child does too. The difference is we have been conditioned to have more mental strength to resist if we are able, to cut off, to turn away, to do something different, where children aren't. Children are getting, ooh, that was loud. Children are getting fluoride treatments that are calcifying their pineal gland, and their rationalization is stopping them from being able to know that this is not for me or this is for me. People are being fed soy and flax seeds and nutritious foods. So now their minds are not thriving properly for something good. They're thriving to feel these serotopins that are being created, the pheromones that are being created by all these stimuli. You see, Tyson like booty. Like, not, and I don't mean booty like booty, but when a woman walk by, Tyson will say something about a woman's booty. He's infatuated, and he doesn't even know it.
He's a
It's not.
pervert. He's a baby.
He's
He's a
not.
pervert.
He's a baby.
Pervert.
I'm not gonna say it in that sense, but because sis ain't here to defend him, and the only reason why I say that is if she's doing what she's supposed to do, so he's a great example because he's not rude, he's not disrespectful when he see women, he ain't touching on women booties, he ain't just grabbing them. Well, he ain't touch my booty. He was on my lap. Okay, listen. I don't know what Tyson does today. I was down there last year. All right. Okay. So my point with this is it was last year. It was. My point where I'm going is, like she was saying, exposing your children. Naturally, we are sexual people. We came from sex. We were created through these good feeling, sensational moments. So it's only natural for anybody to be drawn to something that's going to feel their satisfaction. So when children go on to this, yes, it's psychologically, it's been studied and shown that we are sexual beings. If you look at babies, children, when they're trying to pull on their diaper, they're putting their hands in their pants. They're doing this not because they see other people doing it. It's a natural thing. The part that we have to do as parents is teach them right from wrong. The morals,
so is it natural? Is it natural that I love to rub it and feel the juices? Is that natural for me to want to see if it's moist?
No, not
Oh,
at
no, it
your
ain't.
age.
I'm done.
Not at your age, because again, you've been conditioned long enough to know to do better. However, you know there's lawsuits out here now, a class act lawsuit against the addiction of social media because of the exposure that these children have. And I feel that everyone should sign up and get involved and get into this money, even if you get $5. That right there lets the people who are on the other side know, oh, they don't like this. Go ahead, Legacy.
You know, I rocked with you all the way through up until you talk about that class action lawsuit. And sometimes in life, parents have to take responsibility and say, the same way that you governed and watched and controlled the consumption of what your child or your children was doing, parents themselves, and this is the problem. Parents want to be their kids' friends instead of being the protector about everything. Oh, I don't want to ask my daughter to let me look at her phone. I don't want her to think I don't trust her. Fuck that.
My son 18, and I'm going to get in his phone.
Listen, I need to see what's in this phone. If you can't unlock this phone, I'm going to take this out your hand and I'm going to bust it on this ground. Now, if you play with me, which I ain't had to do that yet. I ain't had to bust it. When I say give me the phone, it come to me. Because even when I was doing my boys like that, Kate, we ain't gonna say her name because I don't really speak her name no more. But even when I was doing that, it was a problem. And I'm like, how do you tell me that I shouldn't be going through my boy's phone? Even if I went through the phone and I saw cuss words, yeah, you need to watch how you talking to people. Because I know as children, we all curse. You was a whole sailor, Juicy, by the time you was 15. You was a complete sailor. You loved to curse. But I'm not whipping. I'm not gonna get on you too much about cuss words. But I need to see in this phone because most kids don't understand that they have created laws that are called sexting laws that will make you have a sexual charge for you being an underage person that is sending naked pictures of your body to another child. You can go to prison behind doing this if you're not at the right age of them considering you to be an adult. So I hear you, but if that's the case, they have to sue video games. They have to sue all the video game companies and things like that because video games promote violence. Video games they have created criminal defenses so that people who have done mass murdering and shooting, if they can prove that they mentally was checked out because they watched 900 hours of what's Fortnite, 900 hours of Gears of War, shooting game, military games, to where their mind got corrupted at that time when they went and done it. They're people that have found themselves to be incompetent and have to go to a crazy house instead of going to prison. So if you're going to sue the internet service for them allowing social media, you have to go back and sue everybody in the totality, from video game structures all the way to there. And then you need to sue yourself and say, why the fuck do I not have a grip on what my children are consuming via phone content and things? Now, there's always going to be outlets for our children to beat us because other kids at their school have cell phones that their mothers and fathers don't govern. So it's almost impossible to beat the World Wide Web. But in your house, like Juicy said, there needs to be a time limit on what you're watching. There needs to be a purpose for what you're watching. And then I need to be the one who okays this because right now you are a child. I know what's best for you at this time in your life that will prepare you for when you're ready to make decisions with your life. And we're gonna go ahead and get ready to get up out of here. I know we went over by a minute, but sometimes it's beautiful that we have these type of conversations. And today's it's been very edifying to where we wasn't just talking about trash. We had a few serious topics on here tonight that was pretty lengthy, and I was blessed to be able to share these topics with my brothers and sisters. Be prepared for Thursday for the topic and our special guest that comes out this Thursday for why women marry. Is it for love or is it for stability? And we're definitely going to do a deep dive probe. We're going to talk Nas and T about this scenario. So I advise you to do your homework, get your popcorn, get your drink, sit your ass in a comfortable chair because we will be bringing the motherfucking fire. We're gonna go ahead and bring out the juiciest cakes in the business. KK, let them know how they can get in contact with you, girl.
You can reach me. You can find me here every Tuesday and Thursday at the ATL show. Tuesday, we go morning 9, Thursday 8. And that's CPT ES Eastern time. So if we 9:05, no, we coming. Just hang in there with us. Because I was late today, so I gotta put that out there. Because you might come here and look for me and then I'm here at 9:30, but I'm gonna be here.
I was gonna say we're gonna be on Eastern time. Juicy's gonna be on Color People time.
Out there, I was Negro. I'm trying to join the village. Well, I get in where I fit in. You can also catch me on Facebook, Enliven Your Way to Wellness, or Nicole Purse. I also created another page, Miss Juicy. You can find me on Instagram, Miss Beautiful. I don't know if I should even give out TikTok because y'all banned, so stay off of TikTok. Parents, keep your children off TikTok. The China man is gonna get y'all. They got everybody information because of TikTok, so the government say. Or you can hit me on my webpage, enliventoyou.com. And that's all, folks.
All right. We'll go ahead and bring out the man that makes this possible for us to do, for us to be out here in these ATL world and these ATL streets. AB, my brother, my big little brother, one of my go-to confidants, and a pain in my ass. One of my off-screen serious debaters about everything. My bro, love you, boy. Let him know.
Yes, my name is Anthony Brown. Yours truly, the host of the show. You can find me on all social medias. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube under Anthony Brown or The Anthony Brown Show. You can find me on either one. Also, I have a Facebook page. It's called Anthony the Writer. Please follow that page. Got some interesting things coming to that page real soon. I ask that you share all ideas, criticisms, comments, concerns, likes, dislikes, whatever. You can email me, or you can text me, or you can call me. My email is theanthonybrownshow@gmail.com, or you can call or text me at 561-768-3710, or words that I live by and have lived by for years, and so should you. And that's, you got to grind until you shine.
All right, you. Y'all
Before you
motherfucking grind
go,
till you shine.
Legacy, I just want to say, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am. You saw how he put on there, love your bro at the end. He ain't never said no love your bro at the end. But see, when he dissed us the last time and I had to bring you out, I did it. And he watched that show and he was like, shit, I gotta top her. I love you too, Tony. Now.
I love you both.
And I love you too, Legacy.
I don't want it today. Today.
You gonna get it before you come out too. And everybody, love, give it to him, Legacy.
Y'all listen, y'all know who I am. I'm Legacy, the only great one outside of the, you know who. Y'all can find me on Facebook up under Audrine Williams, YouTube Legacy the Great. My email is legacyunlocked@mail.com. Cell phone number for business purposes only. Please feel free to call me if you have any situations dealing with court matters. You need motions filed. You want me to give you a little insight. Can't do anything per se, giving legal advice, but you can give me a call and we can have a conversation and we can see where this goes. But also, if you're locked out your vehicles, need some assistance getting into it, Palm Beach County, Lee County area, feel free to contact me at 561-907-9129. Also, reach out to me if I'm not at that. We have that phone with me. You can contact me at 229-630-7615. I want to give a shout out to Miss Nina, Kamal. Who else came in?
Cousin Johnny was on there.
Cousin Johnny.
Chris.
I also want to, Chris, Mr. King. Also want to give a shout out to our sister Tayama, our brother Donovan for participating. We know y'all guys busy and had the kids.
Also, who gave us a heart and a thumbs up was Lexi South Meals. That's my niece Alexis Brown up in Georgia. Also, Alexandria Carter, Monique, Bridget's niece. So thank you. They gave us a heart and a thumbs up on Facebook. Appreciate it.
We definitely do appreciate everything that everybody do, and I need y'all to always remember that we do this for you guys. It's not so much for us as we do enjoy doing this because this is our gathering for us to be able to be in each other's presence via Zoom or StreamYard or whatever, and we love doing it because we're going on 4 years. But we definitely love to do it so that we can give out informative information at least 90% of the time throughout the shows, and just to enlighten our people first and foremost, but also the nation, so that we could all grow and aspire to be a greater nation, not just for us, but for our future children and grandchildren. And y'all know what words I live and die by. You know what it is, Kate?
I think I do.
Give it
ATL.
to him. ATL!
It's one of ours. Yes, that we had made.